Trump breaking news today. Powder keg situation at Texas border, Republican governor warns. Republican Governor Kevin Stitt of Oklahoma warned of a force-on-force conflict when questioned about the powder keg that is the situation between federal and state authorities in Texas over illegal immigration across the southern border. State authorities, including the Texas National Guard, had placed razor wire along the Texas-Mexico border. However, on Monday, the Supreme Court determined that federal officers could remove the wire. In response, Governor Greg Abbott unleashed a furious tirade, releasing a letter on Wednesday that invoked Texas's constitutional authority to defend and protect itself against what he dubbed a migrant invasion of Texas. The Texas National Guard is currently under Abbott's jurisdiction, but 2 Democratic Texas congressmen have proposed that President Joe Biden take it over. Stitt was one of 25 Republican governors who issued a statement Thursday expressing solidarity with Abbott and said, "Texas has a constitutional right to defend itself and the nation." On Thursday, Stitt made an appearance on the conservative-leaning network Newsmax. During the interview, host Carl Higbee raised the question of whether or not the federalization of the Texas National Guard by Biden could lead to a stalemate between federal and state authorities. "Shall we call this showdown?" Higbee asked. "Really, that's the essence of it, a clash of allegiance, a clash of power, and a clash of constitutionality. I'm curious to know how many people would respond negatively if he done that. Can you believe it? Are we heading toward a force-on-force conflict if so many people stay and fight with Texas versus the federal things? Right now, there are federal agents cutting wire and the Texas National Guard on orders to put up wire. This is a powder keg worth of tension," the Oklahoma governor replied. "It's a bizarre scenario, but we support Texas's right to protect itself. With regard to the Texas Army National Guard, in other words, Biden will try to federalize these troops, because he's gonna be in a tough situation," Stitt continued. "Keeping to Biden's orders or protecting their homeland would be challenging, in my opinion. I find the prospect incredibly intriguing." Stitt further proposed that Abbott be backed by the National Guardsmen from other Republican-controlled states, including his own. As he made his observation, he mentioned that several states, including Oklahoma, Florida, and Tennessee, would deploy their National Guards to assist Governor Abbott and his efforts, since every state is border state. "It was fentanyl that you mentioned. We know that it's coming across the southern border, and then there are terrorists. The number of fatalities in Oklahoma has increased by 500% since I became president." Donald Trump, who is widely considered to be the Republican Party's presidential nominee in 2024, issued a statement on Thursday in which he called on other states to support the governor of Texas by sending their National Guardsmen to the Lone Star State. "Texas has justifiably invoked the invasion clause of the Constitution and must be given full support to repel the invasion," he stated, referring to the national security, public safety, and public health catastrophe. "We encourage all willing states to deploy their guards to Texas to prevent the entry of illegals, and to remove them back across the border." At 3:20 a.m. Eastern Time, Newsweek emailed the White House press office. "In the event that they opt to provide feedback, this piece will be revised. While the Texas National Guard is not yet eligible for federalization, pro-independence Texas nationalist movement leader Daniel Miller has pushed Abbott to significantly enlarge and militarize the Texas State Guard." Abbott began Operation Lone Star in 2021 to strengthen border security, and thousands of Texas National Guard members are now participating. Miller warned Newsweek that the possibility of federal service calls and orders to stand down existed from the beginning of Abbott's use of the Texas National Guard for Operation Lone Star. "That is why we have maintained, since 2012, that the Texas Military Department's principal vehicle for border protection should be the Texas State Guard. It is against the law to federalize the Texas State Guard. The unit must continue to report directly to the governor. We predicted this would ultimately be the tactic used by the federal government in an attempt to keep the Texas border wide open to the cartels, and yet again, we've been proven right."